first read the Venerable mantra, given that there's several of you from ancestors, and the children of course also said protocols that say the three times together. And while reciting this, just keep in mind that this is a reminder for us that finally it's like the sound of a cloud, the two hands coming together, and then the problems arise. So for this, we need to know how to first of all identify the internal factors. Identify the internal factors. Identify the internal factors. Hello, 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 hello. This is very important for us. So now, for me to when I first came here for official teaching, that was back in I think 2010, with Dorji, Surendraji, and Kiranji, Mayuriji, and Hazel, Lucky, Mega, Sumeti. Is with them, and now is 12 years, almost 13 years now. From all these many years, what I notice is that everywhere people are suffering. Everywhere people are suffering, and oftentimes the problems, I wouldn't say as self-created. The problems, there is so much element of this self-creation, because say the two factors are there, and we can't expect to remove all the external factors. But internal factors, yes, it is in your hands. From very gross to the very subtle ones. The gross one, for example, let's say that if you're driving a car, and most of you must be driving a car. If you drive a car, and then somebody cuts, but it's already left, and still you are in the car, you are shouting, right? You are shouting, it will simply raise your temperature, raise your blood pressure, and the other person even didn't know that you are shouting at him or her, right? And you are suffering, and the person just passed by so smoothly, so happily. And you are suffering. It's purely self-created. Purely self-created. So I used to tell my driver, I don't drive myself, office car driver, so he doesn't really shout. Sometimes what he does is, if somebody keeps on cutting, then when he's able to say overtake the person, he will give a very bad look at the person like this. And I would tell him that, why are you giving this bad look? Why? That person does not even notice that you are giving this bad look. When you give the bad look, there's agitation within you. This self-created agitation. And this agitation, if it builds it up with the cumulative effect, you will go through blood pressure rise and sugar level rise, and eventually you have to take medicines. And that person, and the person will not have any effect, and you torture yourself. This is what we need to think of. Many of the problems are self-created. I wouldn't say all, but there are things which you can somehow manage. That finally you should be happy. Keep this in mind. Okay, with this in mind, let us recite this mantra. And this mantra is not a magic. Real magic is that. The real magic is for how the sensible people, they see this mantra. They see this mantra, wow, this is a great reminder for me that my problems are because the two hands come together, and external factors are responsible, and internal factors are also responsible. And for the internal factors, it's in my hand. So if I'm managing internal factors, no matter how strong the external factor is, it cannot agitate me. So this is a reminder from this. So let's say this 3 times together. And meanwhile, just invoke all the enlightened beings, the beings who embody compassion, beings who you see as a source of inspiration for compassion, wisdom, like say Jesus Christ, or Mahavir, or Ram, Krishna, or Buddha, or the say Abraham, and Baha'u'llah, or Zoroaster, and Guru Nanak Ji, and so forth. Just think of any enlightened being who is a source of inspiration for your wisdom and for compassion. So let's imagine that all these beings are then in space in front of you, and you are surrounded by your 2 parents and all your children and all generation beings with you. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavatat Esham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. The meaning of the mantra: all phenomena arise in causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, and if you have this sent out, you will extra of these. Yes. Yes. Just raise your hands, those who do not have this handout. Okay, just raise your hands, those who do not have. There's several of them. Raise hands, those who do not have this handout. Mayuri, Dorji here, on here. Okay. Okay, this handout looks very simple. The meaning is very profound, and the effort is amazing. The effort of Jill, who did just overnight, she made it possible. So we should make sure that it reflects the profundity of the meaning of what is contained in this, and also the effort, the Jill. So we keep it well, and yeah. So let us turn to the first page. There are 3 verses there. We'll say this, the first verse 3 times, and following verses. And this is to build a sense of compassion. And although what is said here is Buddhas here, meaning someone who is fully awakened. For example, like Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, or say the Prophet Muhammad, or say the Lord Mahavir, or Guru Nanak, anybody who is fully awakened, and you're invoking them. Buddha means awakened one. It's not about the Buddhism, is about the fully awakened one. And each one of us, we can also become awakened. We have to see the profession within us. So with this mind, finally the secret of your fearlessness lies in the wisdom of emptiness. The secret of your happiness lies in the unconditional love. Where this love is not felt, you will never be happy. No matter what you do, you will never be happy. Whether you're male or female, whether you are religious or non-religious, whether you are a believer or non-believer, whether you are educated or uneducated, you will never be happy if you don't feel this love. And of course, this feeling of love and affection, it's not something that you can build overnight. It needs to be built up gradually. This is it's an ongoing process, and unless you have this, you will never be happy. Say the person may come in the facade of a great elegance, but deep inside is very unhappy. So where there's the love and affection there, affection towards others, you see that wherever you are, you have just a simple and dry scraps of bread to eat, only that much, still you're very happy, it's so delicious. And then you just smile and, eat beggar, or just, pat the dog. There's tremendous joy within you, and the dog can feel your joy, dog can feel your love and affection. So, human beings, no doubt, they can feel the profound love and affection. It's for this reason that people, when they see His Holiness the Dalai Lama, they involuntarily go into tears because they could feel this. They could feel this profound love from Him. So, we all have this quality of love and affection. If you're able to exude this quality of love and affection, you become the happiest person. Believe it or not, people around you will change. Usually, the same between husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, or between children and parents. You should do this. Why me? Why not you? Do it yourself. So you try to let other person listen to you. But when you go with this command, why did you not do this? The person will not listen to you. So, whereas when the other person feels your love and affection, even you not giving any instruction, the person will do it for you. So the job is, finally what you want is you want the other person to listen to you, and the wisest way, but you should make it happen. Finally, you should make it happen. The other person will listen to you. No matter how bossy you are, if the other person doesn't listen to you, the purpose is defeated. So what can make the other person listen to you is that the other person feels your profound love and affection, the skillful love and affection. When the other person feels that, automatically the person will listen to you, will surrender to you. So this is when the purpose is accomplished. So this is where we need to keep in mind. Finally, for your own happiness, we need to build a feeling of love and affection with others. Okay, so with this in mind, let us recite these 3 verses together. The first verse 3 times together, the next 2 verses 3 times together, to build the conviction that I must work on this to build my compassion. Let's say this together 3 times. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious blood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious blood in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious blood in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated Mara Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully joined the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will join the Mara Bodhicitta, and I shall have 2 successfully trained in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated Mara Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully joined the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will join the Mara Bodhicitta, and I shall have 2 successfully trained in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated Mara Bodhicitta, just as they successfully joined the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will join the Mara Bodhicitta, and I shall be successfully trained in the Bodhisattva practices. said this, continuation from where we left yesterday, and knowing that finally we see that is purely the two hands coming together, external factors, internal factors together, and how to get rid of the internal factors. So finally, as I said earlier, that that you want to keep the remote control in your hand, the remote control. And if you blame external factors, in a way what you're saying is that you're saying that all my problems are related to external factors. So till the external factors are fixed, my problems will not be solved. But the reality is that we learn that external factors is innumerable in number, number one. Number two, that because it is innumerable, your lifespan is too short and you can't possibly even identify all these external factors. It is like almost hopeless. Whereas wise people will look for the internal factors. And the internal factors, yesterday what we discovered is that only two: ignorance and the self-centered attitude. In other words, ignorance and the self-referential ego, or the self-centered attitude. Ignorance and the ego, these two things. So, only if you remedy these two things, then we can expect of the two hands, one hand to stop, and only one hand is there. No matter how strong one hand is, no sound. Sound of you easily stops. This is amazing. So, with this, I'd like to share with you what is known as how the mind works. Given that I can see that many of you who are in villages here, and many of the villages, say the students, former students are here, and then many of you from Ajayjis, Zubinjis, and the students are here, and so we're all connected to Ajayji, Zubinji, and Dorji Venerable, and hopefully in the near future that Geshe's students will be spread in whole Mumbai. This is what I'm expecting. I'm praying for this. So with this, the point is that that given that there are a lot of you who are more into the psychology, so I'd like to share with you the application of the very simple Buddhist psychology, just a small part of it, into our how seeing the map of this, the small section of this, the small part of the psychology, how to apply this in your life is extremely effective. Okay, so we talk about when I say that the person, say, how do you feel this? That sometimes you feel as though like everything's so hopeless because the weather is so hopeless, and with yourself, right, nothing's going well. Everything is, there's problem with this person, problem with this person, problem with the husband, problem with the wife, with the children, with the neighbors, workplace, nothing goes well. Right? So you feel so demoralized. Okay, how many of that experience? At least once in a lifetime, in a sense. Where you look at everything is so negative. Okay. So what's really happening? And sometimes you must have met with some people. You feel the whole world is gloomy. As suddenly you see somebody around that person, there's so much of aura there. Aura, right? Aura. There's a presence there. Everything's so positive, right? Everything around that person is so positive. How many experience this? In a sense? Yes. In fact, when I was young, this was what I was, young meaning I must be 14, 15, 16 years old. I was seeing that nothing was well with me. And then the whole world is like this. Suddenly I see somebody, everything's going so well with this person. Just the person comes out. There's some kind of presence there. It makes everything glow. How come that this person is so special? Right? Okay. So this is nothing really from the person. It's about the mind. It's about the mind. Believe it or not. If you fix your mind, your mind becomes rich. That's what is known as the elegance of your mind. There's what is known as the radiance of your mind. Radiance and the elegance of the mind. Anger disrupts the radiance of mind. When the anger subsides, there's radiance of mind, and this is reflected in your body language, in your facial glow, right? Okay, although I'm the 55, which means that my glow is all disappearing, but if there is the anger subsides and a compassion grows, there is a radiance of your mind reflected in form of the glow of your face, of your body language. Then the elegance of your mind. Elegance is the richness of your virtues. When the wisdom and compassion, you become so rich in these two. And anybody, for example, the moment you see His Holiness, you will see that elegance there. You will see the elegance. So rich. There's something rich about Him. There's nothing, the richness of His compassion. So that is reflected on His face, in His eyes. Each one of us has this potential. So now, how does this mind work? How to change this mind to make it very rich, elegant, and radiant, with virtues and with confidence? How to make it rich? So first we need to know how the mind works. And first of all, we need to keep in mind that we all have, no matter who you are, say you may be from a very humble family, to a very rich family, to a very affluent, influential family, or very educated, uneducated, whatever gender, it doesn't matter. Keep in mind that we all have the seed of perfection. And on that level, seed of perfection, there is no one who's superior, who's inferior. Everybody is equally superior. Let's not forget it. This is so important. If you don't believe in yourself, and when I say don't believe in yourself, it doesn't mean that you need to exaggerate your qualities. No, never exaggerate. Be very realistic. Be very realistic. And with the spirit of being realistic, you must gain conviction that I do have a seed of perfection within me. Each one of us, we must have this conviction. And this conviction cannot come to you through exaggeration. It must come to you through your awareness. Awareness, you study that. And for this, the one text which I would suggest is a beautiful text by Aranyagajuna, known as Damdul. Damdul, it talks about how everyone has the seed of perfection. Damdul, in praise of Damdul. Okay, this we have to study. Then this will give you confidence. Believe it or not, nobody can fail you. It is only you who can fail you. Let's not forget it. Only you who can fail you. Nobody can fail you. How do you fail yourself? When you say that, oh, I'm just hopeless, I cannot do anything. This is the greatest failure. Nobody can help you. Whereas, if you have confidence in your own potential, nobody can fail you. For example, people threw Mahatma Gandhi out of the train, and he became initially, before he was thrown away from the train, he was not Mahatma Gandhi. He was just Gandhi. He was thrown out of the train, then he became a Mahatma. Because he discovered that he has a tremendous potential to fight for the over like 1 billion human beings, Indians. He discovered that he has this potential. He must awaken the seed to fight for the Indians. So this potential he discovered. So we all have this potential of seed of perfection within you. So let's not forget it. Nobody can fail you. It's only you who can fail you. So therefore, we never ever hold a feeling of underestimating yourself. Never ever underestimate yourself. No, it doesn't matter. Don't expect somebody. Expectation is what ruins us. Expectation ruins us. Expectation of the husband ruins the husband. Expectation of wife ruins the wife. Expectation of children ruins the children. Expectation of parents ruins the parents. Say, wish the best for the other person. Don't expect the best from the other person. Don't expect the best from the other person. Right? So, the thing is that don't expect somebody to do for you. The Buddha said, you are the master of yourself. Who else is there as your master? And you are the enemy of yourself also. the one who tames one's mind, is wise and will be liberated. So finding out how to tame one's mind. Of the two hands come together, you control the one hand, internal factors. That is purely in your hand. Nobody can do that for you. People can guide you, but you have to do it yourself. Same common English expression which says, one man can take the horse to the river. Anyone? Huh? No, there is a beautiful expression there. Let's not forget it. One man can take the horse to the river, but 20 men cannot make it drink. 20 men cannot make it drink. To take the horse to the river is easy. Just drag him, he'll come. You don't need 20 people. But even if there are 20 people to try to make the horse to drink, if the horse doesn't want to drink, nobody can make him drink. That's in your hands. You're getting it? So, whether to change, whether not to change, whether to really go full over happiness, don't blame somebody else. Oh no, he's not given the opportunity, he's not giving me the opportunity, she's not giving the opportunity, give me the opportunity. No, don't expect somebody else to do that for you. Remember this thing, if the horse feels like drinking, the horse can drink. If the horse doesn't feel like drinking, even 20 men cannot force the horse to drink. Let's not forget it. In other words, everything is in your hand. You're getting it? For example, somebody may stop you from getting good food, but the person cannot stop you from thinking. Right? Thinking. So this thinking decides whether you're compassionate. Compassion decides whether you're happy, not happy. Thinking decides whether you are wise, not wise. This wise, the wisdom decides whether you are fearless or whether you with fear. So finally, it's in our hands. You're getting it? So don't say the moment you expect somebody else to do that for you, this is again a failure. So knowing that, finally it's in my hand. Finally, is the horse will decide whether to drink or not. Right? Okay. So each one of us, we should decide whether you should really go for happiness or not happiness. Okay. So with this in mind, how mind works. This is so beautiful. How mind works. And then try to manage your skills. How to increase your the factors which give rise to greater happiness, and how to decrease the mental factors which attracts miseries for you. Okay. So there are 5 things known as the ever-present mental functions. 5 mental functions are there. There are 1,000 mental functions are there. Thousands. Some people, they're so good at blaming others. Right? There are some people who are so good at blaming others that you said it very fast. Who is that? You said it very fast. Who is that? Not only Ravi. All of us, right? You said it very fast. And Ravi said, everybody is so happy. Yes. Ravi is right. Everybody they supported him. So we said, we are so good at blaming others. You're getting it? And some people, okay, let's meditate. Right? Let's meditate. Meditate, and in a few seconds, the person starts dozing off. Not good in meditation. But some people have very good meditation, but when to quantum mechanics, it's Buddha. Right? Hopeless. Quantum mechanics. Right? Hopeless. And some people, they're so kind. They're so kind, but they're not too smart. Some people are extremely smart, they're not so kind. Right? And some people are very smart, very kind. And some people can manage big things, but they miss the micro details. Some people, they're so meticulous with the micro details, the moment you're given a huge responsibility, they start to tremble. They start to freak. Right? So what makes all these differences? The mind. The mind. These are all the functions of your mind. So therefore, how does this mind work? This question. Out of all these millions and trillions of mental functions, There are 5 functions which are extremely important, referred to as the 5 ever-present mental factors. Okay, what are they? Number 1, contact. Contact. Number 2, attention. Number 3, discrimination. Number 4, feeling. Number 5, intention. Let me repeat it. Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. The 5 mental factors in there. Look, if you know these 5 mental factors so well, and if you know that how they are operating within you, this is the real magic. There's real magic. On that basis, you will know how to be, okay, let's not forget it. If you want to ask me, right, just tell me, say, what would be the takeaway? Last time, was talking about the takeaway from this class. So if you were to ask me, what's the takeaway from this 2-day teaching? I would say that, be kind to yourself. And there's some who already know that. Be wisely kind to yourself. Let's not forget it. Number 1, be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself means don't create problems. Don't give yourself tension. Don't underestimate yourself. Give yourself happiness. Stay away from miseries. This may not be kind to yourself. And then, say, after 20 years, after 30 years, you may remember, you say, some of you may never know your life. Or you may tell your children, be kind to yourself, be wise to kind to yourself. This is what I learned from the Global Fusion. From Global Fusion, organized by Ishiro Sandizala. Right? You have to do this. Be kind to yourself, be wise to kind to yourself. Or maybe you or your children. Later on, after 20 years, 30 years, say you're going through difficult times, and suddenly you remember, be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Oh, like say 30, 40 years, somewhere, Global Fusion, somebody came, organized by our Geshe here. Somebody came, he said, be kind to yourself, be wise to kind to yourself. Okay, now I'm going through a very tough time, so I have to be kind. I should be kind to myself. I go to the pubs. You go to the pubs to be kind to yourself so that your stress is gone. Okay, you remember the first word, be kind to yourself, but you forgot the second one. Be wisely kind to yourself. Going to a pub is just a temporary solution. This is not a wise approach. This is an extremely unwise approach. What does it mean by be wisely kind to yourself is, say, be kind to yourself, this is result. Result, give yourself happiness. Don't give yourself miseries. Result stay. Bad results, stay away from. Good results, embrace. And be wisely kind to yourself means that good results, they don't arise randomly. They don't fall from the sky. They comes by dependence on their respective causes. Embrace the causes which will attract the good results. And stay away from the bad causes which result in bad experiences. So the second one tells us how to embrace the causal factors which to be embraced and which to be shunned. Okay, with this in mind, now let's see that let's say that okay. Okay. Did I share with my experience of Delhi, 46 degrees centigrade, and feeling the breeze everywhere I travel? No? Oh. Kranti. Okay. Okay, so this is very important here. Let me say that first let's say that say you get a bed, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, some people maybe 9 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock, your mother opens the door and says, "Happy birthday, my daughter, my son, happy birthday." Right? The mother's holding something. And you are in the deep sleep, and then you are partially woken up. Now you are in half sleep. So what do you see? That you heard your mother saying, "Happy birthday." And you vaguely see that mother's holding something. What did you do? Quick, to save time. What did you do? Huh? Jump. You're half asleep. Hey, what did you do? Your eyes are very hazy and mother's holding something.
Oh, I'm sleeping.
Huh? Are you sure, Sundaji? Okay, let me see what Sundaji, whether you just ignore this. Or anybody else. Okay. Rujita? Okay, so what you do is that your eyes cannot see too well because you are half asleep. So what do? You rub your eyes. Right? Okay, first your eyes came in contact with what the mother is holding. Contact, number one. Because if you're not seeing too well, what do? You rub your eyes. Why do you rub your eyes? To pay attention. To give full attention. Number two. Paying attention, you see what your mother is holding is brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. You're getting it? You rub eyes. That is what? You rub eyes for? To pay attention. Paying attention, then the discrimination comes. That, oh, what my mother is holding is brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay, that is discrimination. With this, what happens? A feeling. Number 4, feeling. Very pleasant feeling comes. There's this feeling. With a pleasant feeling, you want pleasant feeling or you don't want pleasant feeling? Everybody wants a pleasant feeling. And this pleasant, because you want pleasant feeling, this pleasant feeling is triggered by the brand new iPhone 14 Pro Max. Right? So this is the one which triggers pleasant feeling. So, in order to sustain this pleasant feeling, you embrace the object which triggers this pleasant feeling. You're getting it? Okay. Usually, what happens is that usually people see that you don't see the pleasant feeling inside. You identify the pleasant feeling as though like it's coming from the iPhone 14. As though it's coming from there. Actually, it's not coming from there. It's coming from somewhere inside. You're getting it? From somewhere inside. But the ordinary people, most of the people, they identify the iPhone 14 as the one which exudes this pleasant feeling within you. Okay, what if this is the case? You feel that pleasant is coming from this iPhone 14. So, given that you want to sustain this, you go to grab at it to keep it. There's intention to sustain this experience, pleasant feeling, intention to hold the iPhone 14. So that's how mind works. You getting it? Whereas, you expect when the mother said, "Happy birthday, my daughter, happy birthday, my son." When the mother says this, mother, you see that your mother is holding something, and then say you come in contact, number one, with the contact, what do? You rub eyes to pay attention, and then paying attention, the discrimination that is just piece of chocolate. Piece of chocolate. You shouldn't have any time. Not necessarily that it should come only on your birthday. You feel what? What is that feeling? Well, unpleasant feeling comes to you. Because that disturbs your sleep. You're getting it? Your sleep is disturbed. So what made you to feel disturbed? This chocolate. So you try to intention to push this chocolate away from you. You getting it? Push. So this push is this is not a natural state. Out of agitation, you push it, so the mind moves. Mind moves. So look, all these physical gestures, verbal gestures, they are all directed by your mind. For example, let's say, okay, just see what's going in my mind. Just see what's going in my mind. I'll not tell you what's going in my mind, but you tell me what's going in my mind. What's going in my mind? Anyone? What's going in my mind?
You're looking for something.
That I'm searching for something. I'm looking for something. You're getting it? Okay. What's going in my mind? That he was very happy to finally found what he's looking for. You're getting it? Although not spoken, from my body language, you can feel, we can see what's going in my mind. You're getting it? So all these physical verbal expressions, they are nothing but the expression of the mind. For example, say on a huge screen, you're watching, you're playing your computer on a huge screen. So what is happening on this huge screen is actually happening on the very tiny chips. You agree with me? Tiny chips in your hardware, tiny chips. And what is there happening is that is reflected in the huge screen. So what is verbally heard, what is physically seen, these are nothing but the reflection of what's going in the chips of your mind. You're getting it? So with this, I say that okay. So with this mind, let's say say finally, when it's a stress is say of these five: contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. Number 5, intention is the one which makes your mind to move. For example, okay, let's say that what am I doing? Drinking. So from this, what makes my hand to move to get this mark? There's a mental intention which makes the hand to move there and hold it and bring it to your mouth. You getting it? Okay. This is intention. This intention, this is what I like. Whereas if I don't like a person A, right? Okay. So like this morning, there's one Dorji's dog. This dog, he was just sitting next to me, really blocking my, just sitting right in front of me. It's a huge dog. And Dorji, felt that, okay, this dog is so, disturbing Mishra. So Dorji said, come, took the dog away, and the dog was, just see what's going in the dog's mind. The dog was staring at, after pushed away, the dog was staring at him like this. What is this? What's going in mind? He was very unhappy. You're getting it? So this says all these, what made the person, the being, the dog, even the insects, physically, verbally express something, is all the expression of what's going in the person's mind. You're getting it? So this, what is this? This mind which makes the physical verbal move, intention. So when you are, let's say, when the dog is just look at this, which means not too happy. So this dog, in a way, of course, the dog loves him, they love you so much. But at that particular moment, how dare you push me away from him? This was what was going in his mind. So usually, when we feel agitated, what's happening is that your mind, the feeling arises within you, unpleasant feeling arises. With the unpleasant feeling, are you happy or not happy? You're not happy. You want to have it, you don't want to have it. You don't want to have it. So what do? You try to push the object that trigger this unpleasant feeling. So what pushes the object? Your intention pushes the object. And that intention, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you may not succeed. If you don't succeed, the mind continues to push. So this says, your mind said exert. Your mind exert involuntarily. It is trying to push the object. So that is known as disturbance. Mind feels disturbed. Because the mind doesn't like this experience. So when push, cannot push, keep pushing it. This is known as the disturbance or agitation. And if it's aggressive, it is agitation. And if it's prolonged, it is depression. If it is intense, this anxiety. So this is just the mental state. So now, for those people who go through mental stress, anxiety, and yes, there are people who suffer from anxiety disorder, and also people going through a form of depression, mild depression. So there, what is so important is, keep in mind this is how your mind works. So there's the mind involuntary, for example, say that the mind is involuntary trying to move away, keep something away. For example, say when somebody goes through depression, some people, they don't want to go out at all. When you say that, okay, let's go out, the person feels disturbed because an unpleasant feeling comes. With unpleasant feeling, then and you say, you know, well, a persuaded person, oh, let's go out, and the person doesn't want to go out. So with the mere prospect of going out gives an unpleasant feeling. So to push this unpleasant feeling, the person will say, no, I will not go. And then you persuade, let's go. And then there's constant struggle there. So this struggle is in the form of mental agitation. The intention which try to push the factor which gives you unpleasant feeling. So therefore, what is so important is that when you do come across people who go through a little bit of depression, and feeling sad, feeling low, so these prolonged versions of these feelings of sadness, so forth, will take the person to depression. And an intense version of these sadness can give rise to the anxiety, to make the person anxiety. So with this, what is so important for us to do is to make sure that the first thing that you do is we should be very skilled. Give love and affection. Give love and affection. For this, they don't try to impose what you think is correct. Just listen to the person. Listen to the person, and the person, I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out. Just say, okay, it's fine. No need to go out. And you also support that feeling. That also, you know, I also don't really want to go out. You know? So the person says, okay, now we are in the same boat. So which means it's like going out now. There's another person with you. Going out what? Going out to meet with other people. So now you already meet somebody. Right? So that I also don't want to go out. That's very true. Just try to get moral support with the person. So then the person's feeling, the pleasant feeling is sustained by you supporting. The pleasant feeling is sustained. So with the pleasant feeling, what is intention? Intention to sustain this pleasant feeling. Intention will not become aggressive. So this intention will become calm, will become gentle intention. So this gentle, if you sustain this gentle intention, gradually you will see that you can make the other person come out of depression. These are the skills. Finally, that the depression, anxiety, stress, this is all about the intention, which is, you know, acting, which is totally trying to push something. Push something what? Push the factor which triggers the unpleasant feeling. Because you don't want unpleasant feeling. So this unpleasant feeling is triggered by, hey, 5 points. Contact, attention, discrimination, feeling, intention. So this intention, unpleasant, they say the disturbed intention can be stopped to make it very gentle by managing the unpleasant feeling to pleasant feeling. What disturbs the feeling? Discrimination, right? So therefore, discrimination means ability to see things in a different way. Ability to see things in a different way. So this discrimination plays a very, finally, if you really want to, so this is known as the cognitive. You are enriching, you are sharpening the cognitive ability to let a person come out of depression. First of all, to transform the person's unpleasant feeling to pleasant feeling. And everybody likes pleasant feeling. So this, with the pleasant feeling, the person likes it, intention will not reject object, will accept it. Accept it means it'll rest. The intention will rest. It will make the mind rest. So that is
And when you believe it or not, how many of you agree with me that someone who goes in deep depression, stress, anxiety, having problem of insomnia, no sleep. So there, when a person with somebody who is extremely profound, not just extremely profoundly compassionate, very grounded, profound compassionate person, then a person will, that night the person will have extremely sound sleep. How do you, they would say that yes, that it actually happened, results? Yes. So there what is happening is that person thus far have been feeling this, the intention is constantly agitated because the unpleasant feeling all the time. So this intention is trying to push this unpleasant feeling, the trigger, which triggered this unpleasant feeling. So this agitation does not allow your mind to go into sleep and rest. When someone who's very compassionate, when a person meets with a very compassionate person, extremely compassionate and very confident and compassionate person, so loving, then the person, what happens? The contact with a compassionate person, attention, then the discrimination, oh, he or she is extremely compassionate, so loving. The feeling is very pleasant. You getting it? And this person likes the pleasant feeling, not like it. Like it very much. It's a profound feeling of compassion. Then this feeling is embrace. Embrace, not pushed. Embrace. What embraces this? Intention embraces it. So this intention is the movement of the mind. This movement of the mind is so gentle. Earlier, you used to push. That stops you from having sleep, proper sleep. So now, it gently embraces it. The mind, this is the meaning of the mind becomes feeling calm. Because of this, then the mind finds rest. When the mind finds rest, the person would have a good sleep, sound sleep. In fact, I remember that one of my cousins, she used to be someone who takes things so seriously, who can easily feel tense for any small reason, can become very tense, and with little children, two small children, she easily gets tense so easily. One day, I took her to my teacher, my teacher who was a lifelong hermit. Some of you might have heard about him. Venerable Geshe, Damdul. And he just be with him, you will feel his warmth in his hermitage. And I was talking to my teacher, and she was usually she could not sleep most of this tension. And then she just leaned against the wall, she started to fall asleep. Amazing therapy. It's very therapeutic. Instantly she started to fall asleep. It's amazing. So this is how the mind works. So for any healing, if you really want to help somebody else, don't say that, no, keep your mind calm. Right? When you say keep your mind calm, the person feels agitated. The person feels tense. Right? She's saying that keep your mind calm. Like this, gesture. Hey, no, why are you disturbed? This itself makes the other person disturbed. Look, gesture, why are you disturbed? Keep yourself calm. There's nothing outside, it's your mind. Control your mind. You actually agitate in the mind. Right? Okay. So this is how we should be very particular husband and wife. Husband to wife, wife to husband. Right? These are the skills that we need to develop. Right? Hey, why you always disturb? Why you always agitate? What happens? What's wrong with you? Right? What's wrong with you? That is making the other person disturbed. So we should be you have to know the psychology, how the fundamental factor, okay, she's a little disturbed today, he's a little disturbed today. Was it disturbed? Disturbance is a mental intention. This mental intention is because of unpleasant feeling, there's unpleasant feeling there. So what triggered unpleasant feeling? Discrimination. What was the discrimination which triggered his mind or her mind? You have to track this and try to change the discrimination. You getting it? Change the discrimination. For example, like say the Delhi weather. Delhi weather. Okay, what's the Delhi weather like? Most people say that, oh, it's terribly hot, terribly cold, so polluted, right? Okay, when you say if you're living in Delhi and somebody says, yes, Delhi is terribly hot, yes, it's terribly hot. When you say terribly hot, are you feeling? That's not unpleasant feeling. This discrimination, yes, terrible weather, terrible hot, where I'm living is terrible hot. What's the feeling like? Pleasant or unpleasant? When you say terrible hot, feeling is bound to unpleasant. You like the pleasant, unpleasant feeling or not? You don't like it. So this disturbance happens. Mental intention to reject this. To reject this. What to reject? That the Delhi weather is bad. You cannot reject it. So it tries to keep rejecting. Because you cannot do this. You keep rejecting it. Keep trying to reject it, and you don't succeed it, it can manifest in the form of agitation. Right? Okay. So one time I landed in one place in aeroplane, landed in one place in India. And my host came and said that Geshe, I'm very sorry, the weather is so bad, it's so hot. I said, no, it's so pleasant. He said, no, Geshe, you must be joking. It's so hot, I'm sweating. I said that, no, it's so good. I could feel the breeze. It's so beautiful. He said, no, it's so hot. Then I said, thank you, Delhi. It's because of Delhi, it's 46 degrees centigrade, normally 40. That wherever I travel in the world, there I could feel the breeze. It's because of the Delhi weather. Thank you so much. So when you feel, thank you so much, Delhi, right? What's the feeling like, pleasant or unpleasant? Very pleasant, you're getting it. So Delhi weather 46, normally 45, 43, 42 normally, right? I feel so grateful to Delhi that wherever I travel in the world, I feel the breeze. So that thing of, oh, I feel so grateful to Delhi weather, right? That gives a pleasant feeling. Otherwise, Delhi weather is extremely hot, unpleasant feeling. You can't do anything, right? You feel agitated, Delhi weather will not change. This agitation will continue, right? So whereas if your cognitive discrimination is changed from Delhi weather terribly hot to I'm so grateful to you that wherever you try, don't exaggerate, right? Don't exaggerate. That, oh, with the Delhi weather, it's so pleasant in Delhi, you go there, 46 degrees centigrade, you could feel the breeze. It's not true, right? Delhi weather, wherever you go, in other places, wherever in other places you go, you will feel the breeze. That is a fact. So with a factual discrimination based on facts, it will give you a pleasant feeling, profoundly pleasant feeling. And this pleasant feeling you want it. So therefore your mind is not agitated, your mind calms down with rest. It rests with calmness. This is how we can build the initiator of calmness within mind. This is so precious. Okay, having said this, let's say how to distress yourself. How to distress. So I'm quickly share with you 3 main methods. 3 main methods to distress yourself. Okay. Number 1. Let's say that the okay. One time there was the Tibetan house, we were organizing the visit of His Holiness the Dalai Lama to Delhi for a program, and we were collaborating with the Energy Institute, and it was only about like 10 days that the program was happening, and the institute head, the head of the other institute, came to me and literally like freaking. It's not so well prepared, we are not prepared well, now it's only 10 days. Okay, from how I'm sharing with you, do you think that other person's mind is calm or is intense? Intense. So I told her that don't worry, two of our job is to make 20% successful. 80% his owners will do. We don't do it. 20%, the tent, the carpet, all these things, basic things required. Even the tent is torn about, don't worry. Right? If things are not too beautiful, don't worry. Our job is just do the 20% work, the 80% his owners will do. And she says, how? And I said that when His Holiness is there, nobody will look at the tent. Nobody will look at the carpet. Nobody will look at the flower and these things. Everybody will be focused on His Holiness. Right? And when His Holiness leaves, nobody will look at the tent. Everybody will leave. So just because the tent, put the carpet, and your job, 20%, you do the remaining, His Holiness will do it. You don't worry. He said, she said, yes, of course, who will look? Even if we force them, please, after His Holiness, you all stay and look at how our tent is built. Nobody will look at it. Nobody has time to look at it. They will all leave, right? So what I'm saying is that your mind can be trained in 3 different ways to distress yourself. Number 1 is to build the inertia of the stability of your mind. Number 1. Build the inertia of the stability. The key word is the stability of your mind. To build the inertia of the stability of your mind. Number 2, build the profundity of the mind. Cognitive profundity. Build the cognitive profundity of your mind. Number 3 is build the effective expansiveness of your mind. Build the effective expansiveness of your mind. Okay, let's see. So, what do you mean by these 3 things? First, what's the first one? The inertia of the stability of your mind. That is why, for example, I say this, the flower pot, if I put it outside and a very strong wind blows, what happens? It moves. It cannot remain. So this is a metaphor for your mind. And so wind blows and it falls and it breaks. So your mind, external factors can affect your mind easily, and your mind breaks into agitation. Whereas Mount Everest, the wind blows, very strong wind blows, still Mount Everest remains very firm and stable. It doesn't fall. Why not? Why this falls and why Mount Everest doesn't fall? Quick. Raise hand, raise. Yeah, Mount Everest has the inertia of the stability. It's so much of the ground there, the solid weight there. The weight is there. So we have to give a weight to your mind to train this mind to stay very stable, not for any other reason, just to train this mind how to sit stably. For example, let's say some people, okay, I don't want to digress too much. Say, somebody said, instantly the mind moves, and somebody said, hey, instantly the mind moves like this. Mind does not have the stability. No matter what is happening around you, you have to train your mind to sit stably, so that something happens to you, if not, instantly move your mind like this. This is known as the single-pointed meditation. Single-pointed meditation, practicing this will help you to build the inertia of the stability of the mind. It will make your mind as heavy as the Mount Everest, that external factors cannot deviate your mind very easily. Number 1. What's number 2? Cognitive profundity of your mind. Okay, so for example, let's say that, okay, say anybody from physics background, raise hands. Anybody from physics background? 1. Okay, in Mumbai, there's only one. In Mumbai, only one? Okay, physics background. Let's say that if you are a physics professor, average physics professor, and then your university vice chancellor tells you that, hey, you have to prepare a talk. You have to give a talk to 1,000 PhD students from all over the world coming to a university, and you have to give a lecture to them. Are you happy or not happy? Huh? Are you happy or not happy? You're an average professor. And 1,000 best students, the PhD students, the best PhD students in physics from all over the world will come to a university, and you have to give lecture. Are you happy or not happy? You feel agitated or not agitated? Very agitated. Your mind agitates, right? So, okay, now what is it? What should you do? Why are you agitated? Why you feel agitated? Intimidated, right? Why? You don't get opportunity to give a lecture to 1,000 PhD students from all the world. Today you get the opportunity. Why you feel intimidated?
Because you feel your ability doesn't match the job.
Because amongst the 1,000 PhD students, they are the future Nobel laureates in physics. And you're an average professor. You're getting it? So they're so bright that they can challenge you and they can put you in a problem. Right? So you fill your mind, unpleasant feeling comes. And this unpleasant feeling, what creates that? Because having to meet with this 1,000 PhD students. So your mind will reject it. Again, intention. That is agitation. And if it becomes so intense, it can become anxiety. You're getting it? So then you go to Albert Einstein. So my vice chancellor asked me to give a talk to the students. I can't face this, 1,000 PhD students from all over the world. Please you give the talk. Will he feel intimidated? No, he is very grounded, not agitated. His mind is very stable. You're getting it? Not agitated. Why he doesn't feel this mind agitated? Why not? Why not? Because his wisdom is so profound. So this is where to prove the profundity of your wisdom. So when you have the wisdom so profound, you don't feel intimidated. Your mind is very stable. So it will distress you. When your mind becomes very profound in your knowledge, it distresses you. Related to the subject, it distresses you. Your mind is calm. Calm means the opposite of stress. Okay, what's next? Effective expansiveness. Effective expansiveness. Okay, let's say that if somebody were to tell you that, your next door neighbor is suffering from stroke. Your next door neighbor is suffering from stroke, and the colony, all the colony people, they requested you to be the nurse, to nurse this person 24/7. What do you feel? No way. Why? No, we'll pay you. We'll pay you. Okay, will you be happy to take it? 24/7, you should nurse the person. Which is why not? It is a huge task. It's a huge task. You're getting it? But you know that for like 10, 15, 20 years, your mother looked after you 24/7. You agree with me? And she's not paid. That's totally for free. And yet she does not feel the burnout. You agree with me? So why? Why she does not feel the burnout? Why she does not feel the agitation? As much as we feel, even to think of one week to take care of this person, you feel agitated. Why the mother don't feel agitation? Because of this love, affective mind of the love, which expands, which makes you feel so expansive, is not affected. So the love and affection is one, the wisdom, profound wisdom is number two, and the stability practice number three. These three will make sure that your stress is removed. Okay, so this is one thing. Then in this connection is the Heart Sutra. How does the Heart Sutra helps us? Is that all the stress that we are going through, it's like the stress that we're going through in the dream.
right? When it's a dream, and then you meet with the lion or the ghost, and the ghost is chasing you, the lion is chasing you, and you run. There's so much the fear there. Okay, so this fear is because of this dream contents. When will you be free from this fear? This stress, when will you be free from this stress? When you wake up. When you wake up, how your fear dissolves? Anyone? How did your fear dissolve when you wake up? Anyone? Raise your hands. Yes.
The feeling of it not being true.
Yes. To see that what all the contents of the dream, they are simply not objective real, they are all subjective creation. My mind created this, that's just not real. The moment you discover that, your fear is dissolved. In other words, you have discovered the reality of the object. You're getting it? You agree? How many agree with me, friends? You've discovered the reality of the object. So, the reality of the object, not really loose sense, in a technical sense, it is known as ontology, or the ontological reality. Ontological reality means the reality of the object. Ontological reality is the reality of the object. In other words, ontology. Once you know the ontology so well of the object, of the dream, your fears dissolve. So, what makes you discover this ontology is the wisdom. So the Heart Sutra helps us by removing the mental stress by discovering the ontological reality. So this is how the Heart Sutra helps us to remove our fears. Okay, so having said this, we go till 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock? لا Okay, we'll stop here for lunch break. It's already 12:30.